And welcome back. It's time now for your power block of nonstop news. President Trump has faced a lot of criticism after announcing a policy change on Twitter just yesterday. He posted that Americans who are transgender will no longer be allowed to serve in the military. But it's unclear if that's been taken as an official directive. Much more on this coming up on the Today Show and Good Morning America. That's starting at 7 o'clock. And back here in Jacksonville, a man who was arrested for a murder that happened 40 years ago is back in Duval County.
So that's Johnny Miller, who was arrested in May for the 1974 murder of Freddie Farah. Miller is expected to appear in court for the first time. That happens at 9 o'clock this morning. New details also this morning after a police shooting that ended up with a JSO officer in the hospital. Aerial footage right here of where it all happened. The suspect is dead. Now we're hearing from an innocent bystander who was actually targeted by that suspect during the police chase.
He tells me to go ride again, and it's pretty much it. You just do what you're told there.
Yeah, Tara Carter says she was held at gunpoint and forced to drive while the suspect shot at police behind them. Terrifying stuff for her. Our Alex Osiris live at JSO this morning with that victim's story and how the wounded officer is doing now. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Lewis. And Tara Carter was sitting on her porch after a long day at work. She said she had just finished cutting her grass when all of this happened. A terrifying experience that she described for us just yesterday. Some 24 hours after all of this happened, she says she didn't know Michael Harris, the man who came up to her porch brandishing a gun and told her to get in her car and drive him. Soon after is when police caught up to the two. Harris in the front seat, it's sometimes grabbing the wheel, making jerking motions, and then shooting out of the window in the back seat at an officer. An officer actually hit in the chin, as well as several bullets peppering that police car. And Carter says that it all came to an end when another vehicle hit into them in an intersection on the west side. She says that she was just following his orders to stay alive.
Here for my family. I'm still here for my friends. I'm still here because I could have not been. One wrong step, one wrong turn, one wrong move, and I could have not been.
Carter says that after the whole ordeal, that it took 24 hours or so for JSO to clear her name. She wasn't happy about that. They've also kept her phone as evidence as part of this ongoing investigation. And as you saw just a second ago, her car totaled in that wreck. Reporting live from JSO, Alex Osiris, First Coast News.
Thanks for that, Alex. And next week, Nassau County will honor a deputy who was killed in the line of duty. This happened last year. A street in Yulee will be named Eric Oliver Way. Oliver died last November while chasing a suspect into traffic. A portion of Courtney Isles Way will be renamed on Monday, and a ribbon-cutting ceremony will happen that same day behind the Maurices. That's in the Target Shopping Center.
Your time is now 6:48. I'm Lindsay Boach, and we begin your top national headlines this morning with a frightening tragedy out of Ohio. One person is dead, 7 others injured after a ride malfunctions at the Ohio State Fair. It happened on a swinging and spinning ride called the Fireball. You can see some viewer video here from the scene. It appears that part of the ride crashed into something, and then part of the ride flies off, throwing riders in the air and to the ground. Governor John Kasich has ordered a full investigation and also ordered that all fair rides be shut down until additional safety inspections can be completed. There'll be much more on this on Good Morning America and the Today Show starting at 7 o'clock. Senate Republicans are lowering their expectations on repealing and replacing the Affordable Care Act. They're making plans to try and pass a narrowly focused bill undoing just a few of the most unpopular elements of former President Obama's landmark health care reform law. It should all come to a head today on the Senate floor with a rare oddity called a vote-a-rama. All sides could offer unlimited amendments in rapid succession. They're expecting it to extend into early tomorrow morning. The Transportation Security Administration is implementing some new, stronger screening procedures for carry-on items. Travelers will now be required to place all electronics larger than a cell phone in bins for X-ray screening in standard lines. This will take effect at all airports over the next few months. All right, lucky or unlucky, I guess it depends on who you're rooting for. Last night in Oklahoma City, the Dodgers were hosting the Reno Aces. Bottom of the 8th, 2 on. OKC Dodgers Alex Verdugo sent a fly ball deep into right. It bounced off the outfielder's head and ricochets high over the fence for a 3-run homer. Even though they let that 3-run homer go, the Aces still won 9-7.
That's straight Jose Canseco, man.
Okay, you follow baseball a lot closer than I do.
Closely.
Is that allowed?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
It's a home run.
That's crazy. I don't think it should.
Absolutely. They still won, though. The other team. But that's something that'll stick with that man for the rest of his life.
And he's okay. He had on a helmet, right? So
he had his hat on. It didn't feel good. Let's take a live look outside. Beautiful look at the beach no matter what, but it is a bit overcast with that low pressure spinning offshore. Mike Prangley, our storm expert, with us. What do you think, Mike?
That's right. Good morning. Yeah, the Whirling Dervish still with us. We appreciate all your pictures. And look at this. As we look at QS Bride sending in this picture of lightning out toward the jetties yesterday. Lightning again, a big threat. And we had a couple of lightning strikes around the area. And notice ELW unplugged. A little flooding there in St. Mary's. And we could see flooding as our other big weather impact today as well, because the same weather system is just spinning in place that we saw yesterday. Now, the heaviest storms offshore, but as we heat things up this afternoon, notice we're already seeing some vertical development and some heavy showers around the area, quickly moving toward Brunswick and southeast Georgia by 7:20. More heavy rain along with fog. Not a good combination. The west side moving into Duval, western Nassau County along Highway 301. Baldwin getting that heavy rain. That should be near Ratliff by 7:30. Avondale and Jacksonville as we head into just after 8 a.m. So our precision weather forecast, weather window of rain between now and 8 p.m. So occasional showers, morning showers and afternoon storms. And that's when we're going to see our main threat for the flooding and lightning. High rain chances all the way to St. Augustine today, especially by late day. So have the ponchos ready for the Jaguars this morning. Lady Antebellum tonight. And then look at this. We do get the silver lining in the clouds for our Friday. We're going to be between fronts. There's our dry slot right over us, some sunshine. And then Saturday things go downhill, but not until late in the day. Sunday, we're going to see rounds of showers and storms throughout the day, not just in the afternoon. So our 7-day forecast includes the weekend. You see the little break, but we'll be ready for the storm Sunday. And then next week, we start August. And we've got a break in the heat going from the mid-90s to the low to mid-80s with some more rain as a nor'easter takes shape. Now let's get to Katie Jeffries in the ViStar Credit Union Traffic Center.
Thank you so much, Mike. All right, this is your Powerblock traffic. Wanted to let you know that accident along 95 northbound near State Road 16. It has cleared itself out of the right shoulder, so nothing there to slow down drivers. Let's take a look at your traffic maps because it's a different story if you're traveling around kind of the Jacksonville, especially the Baldwin area. You've got a mix of fog plus that storm that Mike was talking about. So I-10, if you're driving in from maybe McClinney towards Jacksonville, do be careful. You could see some heavy rain there. A wider look here, if you're in Brunswick, you could see some heavy rain there as well as you travel on 95 towards the Jacksonville area, as well as some fog kind of on the northwest side of 295 and out towards Ratliff. So just be careful this morning. You might want to slow it down if you encounter any of those conditions. 295 southbound, that exit ramp there to Beach, there was an accident, but all lanes there are open. Reminder, Main Street Bridge is going to close overnight tonight around 6:30, reopen around 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So if you see it closed, just use the Acosta instead. Back to you.
All right, Katie, thank you. At 6:53, let's get the top stories to get you out the door this morning. Firefighters blame lightning during last night's storms for at least 4 fires in the Arlington area.
People who live near one of the affected homes say that there was so much lightning in that area that it was hard to tell which homes were actually hit.
We all came out to try to see who and what was hurt. And about 10 minutes after, the house started smoking.
Good news to take away from all of this is JFRD telling us everyone inside got out just fine.
Well, a Jacksonville man accused of murdering a woman and hiding her body in his backyard is due back in court today. But this will be the first time we've seen Russell Tillis since a mistrial was declared in his assault trial. Now, police said that he admitted to killing Joni Lynn Gunter after he was arrested for the assault. So that mistrial ruling may impact the murder case. Tillis is due back in court at 9 o'clock, and we'll bring you updates both on air and online at firstcoastnews.com.
All right, so one death row inmate in Florida taking new steps to stay alive a little longer. Attorneys for death row inmate Mark Asay went to court Wednesday claiming that the drug cocktail used in lethal injections is actually inhumane. Asay is said to be executed in August for killing 2 men in Jacksonville back in 1987, though. State medical experts say the drug used for lethal injections are not cruel or unusual. The ruling in this case could affect, though, how death row cases for almost 400 other inmates are done. Once the ruling comes down, we'll be sure to update you. We'll tell you about it on air and online. Now, Florida's state law enforcement officers could get a big pay raise soon. Governor Rick Scott proposed $30 million in raises for highway patrol officers, wildlife officers, and state law enforcement agents. This would be added to the 5% raise that was approved already in June. So the governor says this will be an incentive for current law enforcement to stay on the force, but also attract some brand new officers.
No, he's just slipping it off.
Speaking of attracting new officers to the force, does this do it for you?
No,
think this is going to get him a great recruiting video right here? This is a prime example. You go above, you go beyond, you get on TV all over the country. This is a police officer in Boynton Beach taking matters into his own hands. This after a gator was found at a front porch of a home there. He didn't want to wait around.
Oh my goodness, that's Officer Alfredo Vargas. He couldn't wait clearly for wildlife officers. So he wrangled that gator all by himself and released it into the wild. Now his co-workers call him the Gator Wrestler. That's his new nickname. Now he says he likely saved the animal's life because trappers would have ended up killing it. All right, don't forget, folks, you can help us stuff the bus next week. First Coast News is hosting another Stuff the Bus event next Friday. We're collecting school supplies at the Markets at Town Center to give to the United Way of Northeast Florida. We're going to be out there on Friday, the entire GMJ team. That's August 4th to take donations, or you can give online if you'd like to. Just go to our website. That's firstcoastnews.com.
Listen, I always wonder what it'd be like to do a live show in front of a live studio audience. We had that today.
Yeah.
And that was not as nerve-wracking as we thought. Check it out. Julian Creek Baseball in the house with us today. This is 8 years. Julian Creek. They've
were
been so good.
well behaved, yes.
So good. It's finally the time to let out all that tension. So just fresh back from state, and they got up so early to come watch some GMJ today, even in the waning moments of their summer vacation. So well done, guys and parents.
We've got
for
the
having
Blast,
sakes.
the Storms, and the Falcons.
Y'all the real MVP. All right, let's get a last look at the forecast before we go this morning.
That's right. Well, we've got rain delays today for any baseball. It looks like this morning and this afternoon, some heavy showers moving through the west side. We get that silver lining, but it looks like that'll hold off until our Friday into the first part of the weekend. But it's coming. We hang in there.
And we've also seen some rain and some pieces of, fog out there this morning. So please be careful and slow it down out there for your commute.
All right, y'all have been quiet long enough. It's time to make some noise. There's 5 seconds left in the show. We can get loud. Have a great day, everybody.